Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead. So welcome to Thankful Thursday. As per usual, I have no idea what I'm going to say. So hopefully as I'm making things, maybe it'll come to me. But first I want to say, above everything, I'm thankful for my Lord and Savior, always and always. Especially what's been going on the last 4 months, He's made me through a lot, and I have to thank Him for that. I don't think without His courage and strength could I have the courage and strength to get through it as well. I'm also very thankful for friends. And I'm going to call you out, girl. Rhoda over at Peace Be Still. I love you, girl. I love you from the bottom of my heart and my soul. And you've gotten me through a lot of rough patches, and know that you're beautiful inside and out, and you mean the world to me, and I want to thank you. I have plenty of other friends too, but just saying. I'm thankful for my friends. I'm thankful for my YouTube channel. I'm thankful for what I consider friends and family on that YouTube. You guys are just amazing, and it seems like when I'm down or discouraged or whatever, you know, you guys perk me up. You always have something good to say. So, hopefully today's not going to be emotional. I'm not planning on it. But anyways, so while I'm thinking of more things, my friend Olivia, and I know she'll be watching today, because I told her I'd do it today. She sent me something from TikTok, and it was ice cream bread. And she goes, will you make that? And so I told her I would, and I told her I'd make it today. So that's what we're going to do. And I have a couple spices, too, that people have been requesting. And I'm just going to go ahead and do it again today on video, because I'm almost out. So let's get busy with our ice cream bread. I know, right? But my daughter-in-law said she's seen people that's done it, and she says it works really good. So we'll see. So you need, it's 2 ingredients. You need 1.5 cups of self-rising flour. I keep it in a small container because I don't use self-rising very often. So once I got down through the bag, I just keep it in a smaller container because it fits. Now maybe if this bread gets to be really good, maybe I'll have to get more. Who knows? Let me get this off my hands. Cover it back up because I have a habit of spilling things, if you guys hadn't noticed. My squirrel is out there eating. He came and visited me today. He's still out there eating. And then I'm going to make, I got the great value one. I'm not paying $4 for a little pint of ice cream of Ben & Jerry's. I'm doing mint chip because I love mint chip ice cream. And actually, this is the ice cream every time I was pregnant that I would crave. And not to gross you guys out, but, oh, it used to gross my mother-in-law out. We'd go to Quality Dairy for ice cream. And I'd get mint chocolate chip. And then I'd get those great big fat pickles. And I'd dip it into that ice cream. And then by the time you get to the bottom, it was filled with pickle juice. Oh, I craved that with all my kids. Yeah. Loved it. I know it's gross, but I liked it. So it says to do your ice cream softened. Maybe I don't have it softened enough yet. We'll see. We'll kind of chop it up in here a little bit. Might have to wait for it to be a little bit more. Who knows? We'll see how good it goes together. Can you imagine mint bread? I've never tasted a mint bread. I thought about adding some more chocolate chips to it too, because it says you can add anything that you want to it, so why not, you know? Looks like it's starting to come together. I think I'd let it sit out just a little bit longer if I was to do it again, because it's kind of hard to mix together. But you guys, does this smell good? Oh my. It smells really good. Then I'm spilling it outside of that. Alright, let's give that a minute to thaw out more. And I'm going to go to something else here. While we're waiting for that to thin out just a little bit more. How about if we make my famous hamburger spice? People have been asking about it, so let's do it. Alright, so we need 3 tablespoons of paprika. And I spilled this earlier, by the way. Yeah, I made a mess. Not that I don't always make a mess, but... So we're going to do 3 tablespoons of paprika. Because, I mean, I have, like, maybe enough for 2 more burgers. And that's it. And I, honestly, I don't even want a hamburger without butter now. I know. That sounds crazy, doesn't it? Alright. So we need 2 tablespoons of salt. And I use the pink Himalayan. So 2 tablespoons of salt. We need a tablespoon of garlic powder. I love these new measuring spoons that you guys got me because they're so much longer and it's so much easier to get into everything. Then we need a tablespoon of onion powder, and actually I've went to the granulated. I see a lot of the channels that they really, really like it, and it is smoother, so I'm going to try it. This is the first time I put it in anything, so I'm going to try it. Then we need a tablespoon of pepper. It's really simple, honestly. Everything that goes in here is really simple. And it's probably stuff you have around the house. Alright. Then we're going to mix that together. And you guys, on top of a burger, I'm telling you, I've even used this on top of steak. I do have a steak rub, but this tastes really good on steak too. I've never tried it on chicken. And then, of course, I'll put these in containers. And then they last a long time after that. I would say you'd have them for at least a year. So there's our hamburger spice. Isn't that beautiful? All right, I'm going to put that one over there so that I know where it's at and don't mix it with something else. Yeah, we're going to let this thin out just a little more. You know what I'm going to do? Put it on my stove. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to make is my homemade taco seasoning, because honestly, I've got a little bit left, whoops, up there, but this is all I have left in my container. And this is not Ortega. I just keep refilling this container, so it works great, right? Okay, so for that, I need 6 tablespoons of chili powder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to have to order more cumin after this one. And I need 4 teaspoons of cumin. You know, my other set of magnetic didn't stick together like this one. This one worked really, really good. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just thought of something else. I'm thankful for rules, and I'm thankful for keeping your strength to follow those rules. How's that? I need 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. It'd be nice if I opened up the right one. One and two. Then we need 2 teaspoons of onion powder. 2. And we need a teaspoon of pepper. And this, I'm telling you what, you guys, once you cook your, or make your own seasonings like this, you'll never buy the stuff from the store again, because it just, yeah, it's loaded with all kinds of stuff and you don't know what it is. And our own fresh stuff is just so, it's so yummy. I just can't even tell you. I was told by someone a long time ago, once you do your own, you'll never buy from the store again. And that person was right. Alright. So then we're going to mix that one together too. I'm grateful that we didn't get the 11 inches of snow. I'm thankful and grateful for that. But we did get a lot of slippery roads, and the bitter cold is what's, yeah. And it took me a while to get AJ and his brother to daycare today because the weather was just, yeah, the roads were icky because it's been snowing, or, you know, raining, and then snow, and then it's freezing, and, you know, that's not good. So, and Tom and those guys drive quite a distance to go to work. All right, I'm going to give this a couple more minutes because, see, it's coming together, but not as much as I'd like to. So I'm going to give it a couple minutes and I'll be right back. All right, I think I have it combined good enough. I had time to clean my mess back up and do my dishes. And I think it's going to be just a thicker dough. Because I didn't watch the actual TikTok video. So but it's just flour and liquid, so hence maybe that's why it's so thick too. Whoever thought about green bread, right? Other than St. Patty's Day. Hold on just a second. Let me get one of these. And a little bit of olive oil on there just to get it flattened out right. Nice if I wouldn't have sprayed my arm. I guess it needed moisturizing. So I'm going to spread this down in here a little bit. And they say it takes 30 to 40 minutes. I don't want to push it down because I don't know if that will ruin it if I push it, you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to kind of fill it in here. If this really does work, can you imagine the endless amounts of bread that you can make? And I'm thinking while it's starting to bake, it'll probably melt even more and then go up, is what I'm thinking. So I have my oven already preheated at 350. And I'll check it at 11:30. All right, so what else am I thankful for? It really, like I keep telling you guys, it is hard because there's so many things I'm thankful for. And it'd probably be easier to mention things that I'm not thankful for. But I'm thankful that my son, he's back to working full-time because they were having a really rough time of that. And so I'm glad he's back to work full-time. So that means Grandma usually gets to see the babies in the morning, which makes my day. Jack gets to see him, and I am so thankful. Like, yeah, I'm just thankful for those kids. I'm thankful for my children as well as my grandkids. And I'm thankful for people that are not legitimately family, but they are family. And I really don't understand people that say that there's a difference. You know what I mean? Like, why would you say something to them? They're not family. Don't say that to people, because you know what? To them, you are family. If you believe in God at all, we are family. Started with 2 people. It would make sense we're all related. I found out that I actually have, I don't know how much, because I don't pay for the monthly thing through, I can't think of the name of it. But anyways, that tracks your background, you know. And I found out that I have maybe a tiny bit of Cherokee in me, because back in 1910, one of my family members, and I'm not sure what side, because like I say, I don't pay for it, actually registered through the Cherokee thing. So, never would have thought that. Maybe that's where I get my brown eyes from. I don't know. Who knows? But, I'm thankful for Pinterest. It helps me come up with some ideas. I'm thankful for other creators, because, you know, some things, and if I use it from a creator, I will always tell you what creator it's from. Like, I'm going to can something this weekend. It's going to be from Whippoorwill Holler. I love that lady. She is just awesome, and I'm going to use one of her recipes this weekend. I'm thankful that I woke up this morning. I'm really thankful. You know, I can remember AJ a couple years ago. You know, he's 5 now. I know, right? And we were talking about death. And we were in my bedroom, and he was sitting on my stand, and he says, Grandma, are you going to leave me? Are you going to die? And I says, baby, Grandma will stay here as long as God lets me. I will stay here. And I don't want to leave you ever. And, you know, I'm grateful that, you know, I can wake up every day and that little boy doesn't have to worry about not having his grandma. Yesterday it was funny because he calls the other grandma Mimi. And we were trying to convince Courtney that he needed, excuse me, that he needed a TV and a game system. Teaming up with the grandmas did not work. Just saying, we got a big flat no. And then Bobby clarified, you did understand what Courtney said, right? And I'm like, oh, yes. They accuse us of spoiling them. He says, you know, we have to keep rearranging our house because we have 2 grandmas that keep buying them stuff. I have no idea what you're talking about. I tell Tom, I go, I didn't do that. I have gotten better. So some things, if I buy at the auction or whatever, it doesn't all go to his house. There's some here, and that's why my toy box is overflowing. Who knew? I am thankful for my little squirrel out there. I love him. We always say that there's an imitation. That there's like 4 of them that come over here. But the one that is my squirrel, I don't know if it's a boy or girl, whatever, but he'll sit there on the fence and he'll stare right at me. Now the imposters, they don't. They turn their back to me. But he'll sit right there and look right at me. Because I'm like, you know, you don't have to run. And he sits there and he eats in front of me. You know, it's funny because the things that we can be thankful for can be the smallest things. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be something big. I'll tell you a story. My son, you know, both my sons, after they started in school and they were both baptized and, you know, they knew all the Bible stories and all that good stuff, you know, and they, after they started going to school and they started teaching evolution, my kids didn't believe in God anymore. Well, you know, you can't force anything like that on them. And so I remember one day, my oldest, when he had some trouble after our divorce, you know, he failed a couple classes, so we had to do some, like, it's not summer school, but you can do it at home to make up the credits. Well, he wasn't doing very good in math. And his teacher had told him, well, unless you want to be here next year, and this is a senior year of school, you got to pass this test tomorrow, and you got to get at least a 60 on it. So I heard some rummaging around in the bathroom, and I'm like, what in the world, you know? So after he left, I went back into the bathroom myself, and on the back of the toilet was one of those little miniature Bibles, you know? And he had written something in the inside, and to this day I don't remember what it was. And the next day he came home, and he said to me, he goes, Mom, God is real. And I go, I know. What made you come to that conclusion? He says, you know, yesterday I went to the bathroom, I read my Bible, and I told God, if he was real, he'll let me pass that test. I'm like, well, you're not supposed to do that. And he says, well, I did. And I go, okay. He goes, I got a 61. And, you know, to this day, he goes, like, with his girlfriend, they go to church every Sunday, and you know, you got to be thankful for even just that little thing. And by the way, he graduated, so that's great. So, you know, even the littlest of things, you know, like, I don't know, you woke up and you were thirsty and you had something to drink. You woke up and you were hungry and you had something to eat. You were in a cranky mood and you went to the store and somebody opened the door for you and smiled, and you were like, you know, like, oh my gosh, somebody acknowledged me. Because, you know, sometimes in this life, I think that we just need to be acknowledged. We just need to know that someone gives a crap about us, and that someone, even if it's a stranger, for that brief second, they acknowledge you and they see you. And I think that's why I like to do things for the homeless when we do that, because there's smiles on their faces and stuff, you know, like, we have a lot of homeless services here. So they do have, you know, shelters and stuff like that, but a lot of them still sleep out on the streets. But how thankful and grateful they are when we give them something, it makes it all worthwhile. Because, and, you know, like when you take the time to give them something and it's not just handed out by the shelter, they really appreciate that, because you took time. And you know, like the one guy hugged Jack, and, you know, and they just think the world of AJ, and, you know, they're like, AJ shakes their hands, like, and he talks to them and acknowledges that they're human beings. And sometimes I think that's what we need to remember to do. Because sometimes, even if we're having a crappy day and we're just like, you know, like we got that bear in us, you know, sometimes I think that when we go out of our way to smile or to be nice to someone else, that warms your heart. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just, when they smile and they're like, thank you, you know, I mean, it just, like, it radiates right into you, and you're like, whew. I know, I'm stupid. I'm rattling on. And when a young kid opens my door, I'm like, there's still some with respect. Because most of them with the door slam right in your face. So, I mean, that's a challenge for all of us for this week too, is that, you know what? Acknowledge somebody that wouldn't get acknowledgement. You know what I mean? Say hi to someone that you think might not. Because, you know, like with the homeless, I'm not going to lie, they're dirty, most of them, and they smell. But you know what? Even they need a hug. Even they need a smile. You know, if you know that your neighbor is having a rough time, bake them some cookies. You know, take them over some peanut chip cookies. I don't know, whatever. You know what I mean? You know, if you've got an elderly person next to you and you've gotten all this stupid snow, you know what? Don't make them go out and shovel that by themselves. Oh my gosh. That just brings back another story. Ugh. See, now I'm babbling on. I was in high school. I'm a Quaker, by the way. Eastern Quakers. We're going to have our 40th reunion, 40-year reunion this year. Gosh, I'm getting old. Anyways, so I was going, I was leaving school, and I was just walking down the block and whatever, and you know, you do that when you go, because you don't want to stay in the school, and then you go back and you go in and whatever. And I seen this older guy, and he was out there, and he was shoveling, and man, it was like, he was doing good, but it was a lot on him. You could tell. We got a ton of snow that day. And I walked up to him, and I go, "Hi, my name is Chris." And he goes, "Hi," and he told me his name. And I said, "You know what? I have lunch hour in 2 hours." I said, "You leave that, and I'll come back, and I'll shovel your driveway for you and your sidewalk." And he looked at me, and he goes, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm sure." And I went back at lunchtime, and I shoveled the sidewalk and what he had left for the driveway. And do you know, at least once or twice a week, they would have me over for lunch, and she'd have a sandwich and a bowl of soup or whatever it happened to be. And she actually, for Christmas, made me embroidered pillowcases. And they're not alive anymore, you know, but, you know, I made their day. And because their kids and grandkids didn't have time to come around, and I'm just right down the road, they were so appreciative, you know. And I'm sorry that they're gone now, because they were really amazing people. But you know what? Just by offering that, I made some friends. And, you know, it's sad that they're gone now. But my grandparents were up north. And so it was nice to have an older couple to hang out with. And when I lost my grandpa, I was 16. And he stepped it up a little bit, you know, because he knew my heart was breaking because I lost my grandpa. And, you know, you never know what that one smile or that one "can I help you" will do. So I'm sorry, this video is going to be long like crazy usually. Let me look at this bread. It's rising. All right, so I'm going to check it in about 15 minutes and see if it's done, and then I'll come back, and I won't keep babbling. Oh my gosh. This is what the problem is. You get me to talking, and then I can't shut up. My oldest son, he's shy, and once you get to, like, my sister once said, she goes, "He never says anything to me." And I go, they took him to Cedar Point with him when he was little. She goes, "You couldn't shut that kid up." I go, "I told you. You just get to know him." And he's like, I'm babbling again. All right. I'll be back. All right, guys. Time for the big reveal. It's still a little bit warm. It doesn't fluff up real big, but let's see. I am so curious. Ha ha ha. I don't like the end of bread, but let's see. Oh, it smells so good. Mmm. 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 It is so soft, and it's kind of airy, even though it doesn't, like, wow. Now, you can try any flavor you want. That really did work. Look at that inside. Isn't that pretty? Who would have known? So there you go, Olivia. It works, so now you try it and send me a picture. But anyways, so I know I rambled on today, and I'm so sorry. I tend to do that with you guys. I don't know why, but I just do. But I do want you to know I am very, very thankful for you. And I didn't cry this time. Thank you guys for being part of my life. Thank you for being part of my channel. And by the way, even Whippoorwill Holler said that, you know, they're having issues with people being, you know, I want to say unfriended, but that's not what the word is. So make sure that you're still subscribed and that you still have all the notifications and stuff. And if you're watching and you aren't subscribed, do that. I'm really close to 3,400. And hit your bell icon so that you get notified every time I do a video. I don't like to ask too much for that. I just want you to come on your own. But you know what? If you're here and you like what you see, give me a like, share, and a comment. And make sure you comment below, because I really do like to hear your comments. And let me know what you're thankful for today. and, you know, take the challenge and be good to someone today and see if that ray comes right back to you. But I am thankful for you guys, and I'll keep doing the Thankful Thursdays until you tell me not to do them. If I miss a week, I'm sorry, but I'll keep doing them as long as you want me to do them. And even if I ramble, don't even get me started. Imagine you're sitting here next to me and we were talking back and forth. A 10-minute conversation can turn into a 2-hour conversation. It's just crazy. But know that I love you guys. And I really do mean that when I say it. I love each and every one of you. And I pray for you guys every day. And I pray that you guys are happy, healthy, and prosperous. And any of you that are still stuck in that snow, I pray that clears up soon too. So you guys have an amazing day. Be a blessing. Be blessed. And I will be back for supper.